Thank you for taking the time, Andy. How is your day going so far?
Pretty good, thank you. Yes. Yes, I got plenty of sleep. How about yours?
Nonstop, but good. And I
Oh, good.
appreciate you taking the time. Your new
Oh,
album
thank you.
came out in
Pleasure.
August. How do you like the reviews? Everything going well with the touring and the reviews?
Yes, yes, very good. Thank you. Yes. Yes, we did a lovely tour of Italy and we did Brno and we did France and we've just come back. So we had some good times. Lots of hard work, great musicians.
Mostly festivals or clubs?
Festivals, mostly festivals. A couple of clubs, mostly festivals. We did some music video recordings as well in Alexander Platz Jazz Club in Rome. Eugenio Rubé is a fan, so he gave me the club for the afternoon and we all did our parts. It's an original song.
Oh,
I'm
sorry to interrupt you. When somebody sees you at a festival, is it a very different show than when they see you in a club? Are the set lists very different?
They are. That depends on not necessarily whether we're in a club or in a festival. It just depends on what we decide to do for the night, and they're not that different. No, not really.
Got it. So are you playing a lot of material from your new album on these new dates?
Yes, yes. It's mostly songs from our new album, All or Nothing at All. I Was Born in Love with You, Danny Boy, Photograph, and some original songs. Let's Talk of Love, Let's Try. There's a few songs. We mix them up a bit, you know.
Sure. When you do an album like this and it's half originals and half covers, basically, what are you thinking for the next album? Do you want to do all originals or all covers?
What we were thinking for the next album is a flamenco jazz album, which is originals mostly. It's actually all originals because it's a new concept. I don't think it's been done before.
Right.
Well, Chick Corea did a lot of flamenco jazz stuff. So unfortunately, Chick's not here anymore. So we do flamenco in the show. We dance in the show. I dance in the show. My husband dances in the show too, Piero Pata, and we kind of run backwards and forwards to the mic and sing and dance at the same time.
That's a good point. Not only is flamenco jazz not really been done very much, but very few great jazz singers are also trained dancers. What was your gateway as an accomplished flamenco dancer to realizing that you could also be a singer?
Well, my mother was a singer. My mother was a jazz singer. So I used to sing along with her when I was a little girl and sing backups for her in Melbourne, Australia. And my father was a flamenco buff. You know, he was crazy about flamenco. He was an artistic man. He loved painting and he loved flamenco. So I did the flamenco and I did the singing, but I got stuck in the flamenco because we went to Spain and I toured in Spain and, you know, worked with the flamencos in Spain. And then Chick Corea used to come to Madrid quite often. So I'd sing with him. I'd jam with him in clubs like Candelas and so we did both actually.
So having the upbringing in Australia, yet then having the flamenco part of your career in Spain, and then also touring around Europe as a jazz artist, do you consider any one place home these days?
Well, Las Vegas now. Yeah, we've been when I first moved to Spain, it was kind of different because I'd left Melbourne and I was young, very young, so it was different. And then we toured so many different countries and it became like, well, where is home? And then we moved to Las Vegas and I started jazz singing again and we've settled here. And so now I think Las Vegas, and we just tour as well. So yeah, older now, so more settled.
My experience with Las Vegas, and you could tell me if I'm way wrong or if I'm way correct, modern day Las Vegas is the greatest food city in the world and the greatest music city in the world. And the average person doesn't realize how many celebrities and high profile entertainers actually live in Las Vegas these days.
It's pretty wild. It's great, actually. There's so much entertainment. The food is great. The entertainment is fantastic. I think for jazz, Europe and New York and Chicago and New Orleans, there's a lot of jazz there, but Las Vegas has, of course, the headliners of the world, really. It's just fantastic. Steve Gadd just moved there, great drummer.
Yeah.
Fabulous drummer. The movie stars are moving there. They're opening another big movie chain. So
wow.
It's kind of getting crowded at the buffet now.
Well, it's not a city of buffets anymore. It's now really the best chefs from everywhere.
Not unless you want to wait 3.5 hours.
Yeah, well, my experience with Las Vegas is that it used to be where careers kind of went to die or slow down, or you have your day job where you have your guaranteed gig twice a week. But now it seems like it's launching careers, it's leading trends in music. So for you and for jazz, which venues would you recommend in Las Vegas if somebody likes good, authentic jazz?
Well, definitely Myron's Jazz. There's another little place called Vic's Jazz now. There's a really tiny little place called the Dispensary Jazz. There's
the Dispensary. Sorry to interrupt you. Is the Dispensary that's between the old strip and the usual strip? That's by the art galleries?
Yes, I think so. I'm terrible with directions. Oh. I really am. Max and Jazz also. Max and Jazz is like Japanese food with it. A bit like Yoshi's. You know, Yoshi's in Oakland, they'd have Japanese food and music, and there's a similar one called Max and Jazz as well. They're off the strip. They're not on the strip. They're on the fringe, but Myron's is very famous.
Yeah, and when you mention Japan, that's known to be one of the jazz countries of all jazz countries. Have you had the opportunity to tour Japan?
No, just with flamenco, not with jazz, not yet. But I think there's one coming up.
Oh, okay, 2025. Fingers crossed for you.
That's right.
How much is 2025 booked for you at this point? I ask that because some artists, like when Pavarotti was still alive, he was booked 3 years out. And then there's other people who are just waiting for a phone call and they'll go straight to the airport.
Well, 2025 at the moment, thankfully, is booked. It's pretty much booked. It's quite a lot. So it should be great. I'm looking forward to it. I love traveling and going and performing in different countries, and I'd have to brush up on my Japanese, that's for sure.
Will you be touring in 2025 with the same band that you've been touring with as of late in Europe?
Yes. They're all the musicians on the album. John Ellis, Chico Pinheiro, Alex Acuna, Nate Smith, possibly John Patitucci, Dave Binney.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Rick Magitza. Oh, John Beasley, of course.
And are most of them based in Las Vegas to make rehearsal easy?
They're in America, but no, most of them are not based in Las Vegas. One of my favorite studios is in Las Vegas called Studio A. So they come there and we record there, and we record the albums there a lot of the time. And they come in from New York. Chico comes from New York. He also lives in Sao Paulo. So John Coward lives in Nashville. So they're
wow.
They move around a bit.
So everyone is from all over. And when you are on tour, does your band sound check do you rehearse the day of show, or being such an improvisation form of music, jazz, do you just go, as long as the instruments sound fine, we'll figure it out, no rehearsals needed?
Well, we always have a sound check because you never know what you're going to get. Like I did a show recently where they didn't turn the foldback mics on, so that was interesting. It was almost like I was singing, but I could hear myself from the audience.
Yeah.
So that was different. We'd actually we'd actually had a sound check, but somebody turned one of the buttons off. So we always have sound checks. The rest of a lot of improvisation goes on in it, though. You know,
Yeah.
You never know how long the song's going to be, or how short the song's going to be, or that sort of stuff happens a lot. But for the most part, we do our sound checks, and we do rehearse when we get new people in, just so they know the format for where to improvise.
Well, I have 3 quick questions, then I'll let you go. How does that sound?
Sure.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, been my pleasure. And we've talked about your dance background before you found success in jazz, and now you're able to combine the two. But when you're not busy with dance and you're touring and recording within jazz, what's your main passion or hobby?
I love playing with my cats. I really love playing with my cats. I like reading about jazz. I like reading about music and opera. I love listening to opera. I love watching ballet too, actually. I guess they're my 3 passions.
Wow.
The cats are big.
Yeah, cats and classy stuff. My next question, being that you, when you're not on tour, live in a city that has an infinite amount of entertainment, what's the last concert that you went to for fun? Not because you were going to be on stage performing, but you went, I'm a fan of this person. I want to see this band or person.
We went to see Rev, Cirque du Soleil, because I'm into movement and dance. So we actually got seats so we could see them coming in. It's a water-based show. They dive in and out of the water. So we saw that. We also went to see John Fogerty.
Oh.
Creedence Clearwater.
Cool. And he does mostly the hits, right?
Yeah, he's great. He's sharp as a tack.
Fantastic. And
never a flat note with him.
Right. Yeah, he smartly wrote all of his songs in a key that he could still sing 50 years later.
That's exactly right.
Most people don't think.
That's exactly right. You're right.
Yeah. Everything is a G, D, and a C chord. They're all open chords. So there's no songs he can't play.
We're going to see Tom Jones too. We're going to see Tom Jones on the 28th. So that I'm looking forward to. I've never seen him live.
I haven't either. Lucky you. And the last question I have is, what was the first concert that you went to, or your first album? Because I'm hearing that you're into very classy, sophisticated stuff, but I'm not hearing that you ever were into top 40 or pop. You seem a little too sophisticated. That's what I'm saying, Andy, and take the compliment.
Oh, thank you. Well, the first concert I can remember going to see is Manitas de Plata, which was a flamenco guitarist, and his Manita de Plata means like golden fingers, money fingers. So I went to see that with my father when I was a little girl, and everyone was dancing and singing and clapping. I couldn't understand a word of it, but it was just great fun. It was just wild.
Wow. Not Charo.
No, I have seen Charo. I actually have. I forget what casino. What casino did we see her in? I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Well, either way, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. I'm glad that there's new music coming. I hope to see you live in New York in the near future. And in the meantime, best of luck and continued success to you and your team.
Thank you very much. Pleasure meeting you.
Paltrocast.